1 year ago, the unexpected happened. 9 men on board a charter flight went down in waters at Lake Kalani. 1 year later, the wounds are still fresh and the tears flow freely. Today, a memorial and replaying ceremony was held to remember the crash victims. Fern Carey picks up the story.
1 year ago, 9 people died in a plane crash here at Lake Kalani, and today family members gathered to pay respects and to remember one of the most painful days in their lives.
The laying of brief tributes by Shabbat and words of encouragement from loved ones and members of the clergy, commemorating the tragic day when pilot Nelson Hanna, passengers Delon, Corey Patterson, Clarence Nathaniel Williams, Delon Taylor, LeVard Curtis, Chet Lyndon Johnson, Pastor Nodo, and Junior Lubin lost their lives after their plane crashed into Lake Kalani. The men were heading to San Salvador for the annual homecoming. All members of the music production industry, the loss of the husband, father, sons, and brothers still runs deep.
I know this has been rough here, going through, stuff in the cases. Without outline. We still go thank God for the life they live and the life they live. God be blessed.
Meantime, Samuel Taylor recalled the last time he talked to his son, Delon Taylor.
The last time I spoke to him was on Monday, before he left. I called him on my phone that day, Tuesday, that morning. All going on, recording, no answer. Later on that day, my son called me, Sam called and said, Daddy, please, back in the house. Say, remember that plane? I said, what? Remember that plane was crashed?
Described as men of integrity and valor, Apostle Ed Watson said the fallen nine made a difference in the life of the nation.
As you reflect on this moment and this memorial, to know that God is with you, standing with you, sitting with you, holding your hand, and He will never leave you. And His tender mercy and loving kindness will always be there with you. And so even in your bereavement, He's there with you.
The Lake Kalani plane crash is considered the worst aviation disaster in Bahamian history. Fern Carey, ZNS News.
In June, COPA Airlines launched a Panama City to Nassau flight, and according to airline officials, the flight load greatly exceeded expectations. Dawn Davis flew as a passenger on COPA's Nassau to Panama flight this week. Tonight, she reports from Panama and tells us how that link fulfills the Ministry of Tourism's goal to link or have a direct link between the Bahamas and Latin America.
When COPA Airlines made its first flight to Nassau, Bahamas in June, visitor arrivals from that Latin American market increased by at least 40%, the biggest success for that company in its 60-year history.
In our entire 60-year history as a successful airline, this has to been one of, if not the most successful launches that we've ever had. We're very pleased with the sense of partnership that we've been able to forge with the tourism authority and with the hotel and the private community, tour operators, etc., in the Bahamas.
With flights to over 28 countries and 600 weekly departures, COPA Airlines is well on its way to becoming the envy of the Latin American market. To generate an even higher clientele and visitor arrivals to Panama and Nassau, COPA will undertake some new initiatives to promote the Bahamas and Panama route. COPA's marketing director, Ocondo.
We embarked on a massive online campaign. As you probably know, nowadays, even in Latin America, around between 60 and 80% of all flights, especially for vacation purposes, start online. I mean, the flight searches start online. Most of them end up being closed with agencies or something like that, but most searches start online.
The Panama Canal Authority, the Full Ship Atlas. The Full Ship Atlas is involved in the People Canal Program.
There are at least 3 million people living in Panama, and yes, the official language is Spanish. However, for COPA Airlines, a language barrier is a major concern, but just how do they plan on solving it?
It's a challenge. I'm not saying it's easy by any means. We are facing it now with the growth of the Brazilian traffic. Portuguese is starting to become more and more of a challenge because, obviously there is a double language barrier, not only to Spanish but to English. And frankly speaking, we're still figuring out how to address that. But we're more and more moving to having all our programming processes come in 2 languages as opposed to 2.
Now, to attract more visitors, COPA officials say they plan on offering new package deals in the future. LeDaunne Davis, ZNS News.
A developing story to share with you tonight seems another group of Bahamian workers are headed to the unemployment line. Moments ago, before this newscast, we were informed that employees of Seaboard Marine, which employs about 21 Bahamians, were told by their manager, Chet, that the East Bay Street Company will be reportedly shutting down business operations next month. Now, already the company, which has shipping links all over the world, has their sailing schedules of cargo ships booked until mid-November. Calls for the Seaboard Marine to get an official comment were fruitless. It's similar news at a Mackey Street service station. The Texaco service station's operator and staff are questioning their future. Today, Chevron Texaco Bahamas shut the Mackey Street and Madera Street operations down following an ongoing dispute. Fern Carey tells us more.
Operator of Texaco at Mackey and Madera Streets, Raymond, Claridge, is up in arms. This after representatives from Chevron Texaco Bahamas, which owns the franchise, shut the service station down early this Wednesday. The company reportedly gave Claridge a 30-day notice indicating its decision not to renew a station lease agreement and to evict him from the property. But that is not sitting well with Claridge, who claims the move is due to an ongoing dispute between himself and the oil company, saying they have not addressed maintenance issues at the station.
Everything in the book to get Texaco to do my repairs. They refused.
Claridge noted that the company did buy new pumps. However, he says he's pumped a lot of his own funds into maintaining the station, the source of his family's income for the past 22 years.
I have tired. I've run the end of the rope. My bank, Commonwealth Bank, has worked with me, and they're still willing to work with me. They will back me 100%. I have no hesitation in telling you that. But I am actually broke today, and I'm using borrowed money from the bank to keep this station running. And it is not fair and it is not right. I have 15 staff members here.
Claridge says he intends to seek justice in the courts.
I intend to fight this because this is not only a Ray Claridge problem. This is a national problem because there's not one service station on this island that is not coming under these major oil companies coming in here and abusing and taking advantage after they got our local people tied up under a contract.
Meantime, members of the Bahamas Petroleum Retailers Association and the Chevron Texaco Council are throwing their support behind the businessman.
He's put his own personal money to keep these jobs open. And we feel for Texaco to come in here and just shut him down after 30 days notice, which he's indicated to them that he's willing to renew his lease, renegotiate, renew his lease, continue to operate with no consideration for the amount of money, resources, time, and effort he's put into the place, I think it's unfair and it's not right.
Our Texaco representatives were on the property when our news team arrived. However, they declined comment and referred us to District Sales Manager Ryan Bain instead. However, when we went to Chevron's headquarters, we were told that Bain would be out of the country until Monday. Fern Carey, ZNS News.